Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today um wow. Um so WWE just created a whirlwind that I thought we would never really talk about. And that is the fact that they just basically canceled a WrestleMania venue after making the announcement on television and then decide, oh, it's not going to be there. They're going to get Money in the Bank instead. We still don't know where WrestleMania is going to be at now. Now, the top thing is it's going to be going back to Las Vegas again, and I hate this decision. The ticket prices were ridiculous, and to my understanding, even Randy Orton agrees with it. To my understanding, is that they're gonna go there again. And it's gonna be a regular basics thing, which is fucking stupid. The importance of WrestleMania is going to multiple different areas. Yes, I know WrestleMania 4 and 5 were in the same venues back to back, but that was really the only time they ever did that, and that was unfortunately a time. Let's face it, that the current president kind of made that decision. Um, Unfortunately, to why that occurred. That's the only time that they've ever done back-to-back WrestleManias where they're at the same venues. Um, and the importance of going to different venues is to get to a different market, which is going to have money no matter what. I mean, all these WrestleManias, I mean, you can't tell me that these WrestleManias didn't sell out and make money. I mean, they seen WrestleMania 40 with Philadelphia. That made money. It was a huge event for itself, okay? And you're going to tell me you're just going to have in Las Vegas every fucking year? You have stadium deals all the time. You got all these big stadiums now, right? And you're going to tell me you're going to limit your pool to just Las Vegas for WrestleMania? What fucking bullshit is this? Okay? I mean, like, seriously? There's so many other venues out there. I mean, like, it's gonna, I heard one person be like, they're gonna just do what the UFC does. UFC likes to go all these big events as Las Vegas, but this isn't fucking UFC. Like, once again, the people at TKO don't understand their audience. They really don't. They don't understand the audience. This is not the fucking UFC. Like, so many things have been wrong with this. Now, I know a lot of people want to crap on Triple H for this decision, but this was not a Triple H decision. Okay, Triple H is the creative. He decides the creative. You really should be going more after Nick Khan and really the head people at Endeavor, because they're the people that made this decision. Not Triple H. Triple H was the one who made the announcement, but he's not the guy who made this call. Okay. And yes, there is definitely a lot of criticism Triple H needs to take for the bookings that he did for this past year's WrestleMania, as well as some of the current bookings he's doing right now. But this isn't a criticism that is fair at all. Triple H being criticized for the venue move is kind of ridiculous because Triple H has no say in that. Yes, he made the announcement because he's basically taking charge as like the spokesman guy essentially because he's the head booker, but he was not the guy who made this decision at all. Now, the only thing that really even surprised me more about that announcement was the fact that the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is going to be in late August rather than July. which is usually where it is. It's usually in that June, July area, roughly. But instead, they're going to have it in late August, which implies that SummerSlam is going to be maybe at the end of July now, or maybe early August. I mean, I don't think it's going to be early August because that would be way too close to Money in the Bank. So I feel like it's going to be like late July. Mid to late July is going to be SummerSlam going forward now, which again, to me, is really awkward because SummerSlam was always in the August, the mid to late August. So this slate really is just bad. We don't know when Money in the Bank, or we don't know when SummerSlam is going to be, but we know it's not going to be in September. All right, it's SummerSlam. So this just really to me is really bad decisions right here. Some people are saying that there's a possibility it could be Wembley. WrestleMania is going to be Wembley. I even heard Saudi Arabia, which would really be bad. You know, they already got the Rumble, you know, next year. That would be really not a good decision. Yeah, they're really alienating the audience. You know, this is not UFC, and I don't see. Now, this is my worrisome about Endeavor, you know, because again, they're looking at this at more of a Ultimate Fighting perspective rather than a wrestling perspective. You know, it's not how you book the shows. You know, you want to get the markets from all the markets. You want to make WrestleMania special. It's not special if it's in the same venue every year. Okay? It really isn't. It's just it's bland. And again, I didn't think the Las Vegas, especially the night one, for the most part, was pretty dead. I mean, it wasn't until the LA night match with Jacob Fatu where the crowd started to really get into it. Before that, nobody really cared. Like, the crowd was dead for most of it. And that's not something I want to see, you know, at WrestleMania. You know, I want to experience other crowds, you know, getting a chance to experience it, different crowds, different markets. And it appears that TKO doesn't give a shit about that. They just want to, you know, oh, we're going to just go here. They make so much money. You know, I mean, that's going to run dry, especially with those prices keep going. You keep gouging those damn prices. People aren't going to go. I mean, Randy Orton, like, I couldn't believe it. Randy Orton said he didn't think those prices were good. Like, you know, this is like an ongoing problem. This is really an ongoing problem. But to announce a venue, you know, again, now The Rock has had 2 false advertisements. At Elimination Chamber, when, you know, he inserted himself into a storyline that he did not follow up on, and then announced that WrestleMania is going to be in New Orleans. He announced that it publicly was going to be in New Orleans, and then now it's not. So, and really, but truth be told, this is really the second time they've done it. I mean, this is the first time they've done it where they publicly officially announced what the WrestleMania would be. But really, last year, WrestleMania was supposed to be in Minnesota. There was high negotiations going on at the time, before Vince McMahon officially gave up the company to Endeavor to give it to Minnesota. Like, Minnesota were the people that Vince had picked for WrestleMania 42. But then once TKO got involved, they changed it. They wanted to give it to Las Vegas. And that's why Minnesota's getting SummerSlam this year because of it. But yeah, that's the problem. Like I don't understand why they can't just have if you want events major events for WWE to be in Las Vegas, you don't have to do WrestleMania to do that. You could have Las Vegas in a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series. That's still gonna garnish a lot of interest if you're really looking at the prices. You're gonna make money no matter what. It's WWE. So I don't really understand this whole idea of wanting to just have everything in Las Vegas or have WrestleMania in Las Vegas. And make no mistake about it. Okay? Having Money in the Bank in New Orleans in the Superdome over having WrestleMania is a downgrade. No matter which way you fucking slice it. That is a fucking downgrade. Okay? And I would, if I were the people that bidded on WrestleMania, because the WrestleMania is supposed to be bidded on now, right? So if New Orleans bidded on it and they signed on for it, I don't understand how WWE can just take it away once you sign on for it like that. I don't know what the contract deals are that they do, but I mean, if you freaking goddamn negotiated, paid it off, and signed on for it, and then they're pulling out after the deal has been signed, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That's just fucking dumb, man. Same thing. The reason why Philadelphia got to still have WrestleMania 40 was because Vince was still in control at the time, and they already started selling tickets. They were already selling tickets. It was announced, tickets were being sold. So TKO really couldn't change the plans for it. They really couldn't change the plans for WrestleMania 40 of it not being in Philadelphia at that point. It was already a done deal. But they were able to manipulate 41, so it could be Las Vegas. They were able to manipulate it so it could be Las Vegas. I don't know if the deals were signed with Minnesota at that point, but obviously not good enough because they hadn't made the announcement yet. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, it really sucks that it's going to be in Las Vegas again. Because I think the reason why they didn't announce it, that it was going to be in Las Vegas, is either A, it was too much because of this crappy announcement they had to make about it, or number two, they didn't want, because there was a huge backlash already with this announcement of it going to Las Vegas again, that I think they wanted to wait. They wanted to wait on it on purpose. And that's why they did it. Either that, or it's to because there's other, again, I've heard the teasings of Wembley, Saudi Arabia. If that's all going down, I mean, I don't know when you make the announcement. When you already made where you had The Rock already make a big announcement that it was going to be in New Orleans. I don't know how you make a different announcement and say, hey, WrestleMania 42 will now be here. I don't know how you make this announcement unless they just do the same thing they did today with Triple H. Just announcing it on Instagram or whatever. But even then, it's going to look really bad. It's going to look really bad for WWE when they make that announcement, especially if it's in Las Vegas again. It's gonna. I mean, the fan base is already pissed off about this. The only people who are probably not pissed off at it are the people that actually live in Las Vegas. But even then, like I said, like if you're just gonna keep doing it in Las Vegas every fucking year, then there's no interest because it's like, it's in the same goddamn venue. It's like, who gives a fuck? You know, there's no aura around it because it's going to be the same thing. You're going to have pretty much probably the same logos. You're probably going to have the same, like, the same entrance thing, stage or whatever. It's going to be the same thing. There's going to be nothing good about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, this to me is a bad decision. Hopefully they do. Hopefully it's not Las Vegas. I mean, if it's Wembley Stadium, I'm gonna also be upset because that means we're gonna have the stupid time difference, and I don't know if I can put up with that, man. If it's in Wembley, I know a lot of people want to see that. But if it's in Wembley, I probably am gonna tap out because they're gonna do the time difference, and I don't like that. I don't like the time difference. I hate the time difference. I hate the whole, we're gonna do 5 a.m. like when they did Elimination Chamber a couple of years ago when it was in Australia. It was live at 5 a.m. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? 5 a.m. Like, I'm not watching this live at 5 a.m. Like holy shit. I had to watch it on replay. I watched it later in the day. I was not like, I just fucking laid off social media for the day. I was like, fucking not watching that at 5 a.m. I'm like, I hate those times, man. Like if you want to do like 3 p.m., I guess, fine. But if you're gonna fucking do like goddamn some 5 a.m. bullshit, I'm like, nah, fuck, man. I'm fucking tapping out at that point. We're doing 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Okay, at the latest. Okay, like, no, that'd be the earliest. No, because I don't even like the idea of a 3 p.m. show because it just seems so weird for a WrestleMania. Because then that ends during the night or ends like in the afternoon. It'd be so weird watching a WrestleMania at fucking like at the beginning of noon or fucking 3 p.m. I mean, it's just like, what are we doing here, yo? But no, like if it's some 5 a.m. bullshit, I'm done. I ain't fucking doing that shit. 5 a.m. 5 a.m. WrestleMania. Fuck no. Yeah, I just don't know, man. Like, I just like, if it is Wembley, I still don't think it's gonna be Wembley. I think I think it is Las Vegas. I mean, there's heavily reported that it's gonna be Las Vegas again, and despite everybody hating it, WWE is not gonna care. They're gonna still do it anyways because this is how TKO is. You know what? And the thing is. And again, this doesn't justify what's going on with Vince McMahon in terms of the past 15 years that he's been booking like utter shit. But the one thing I will say, Vince McMahon would never have let this happen where you're booking the same show on or the same venue for 2 consecutive years like this. They weren't going to do that. Like I said, he only did it once, and that was in the earlier stages of WrestleMania when a certain president just threw money around. Which at the time WWE kind of needed it since they were still trying to cross over to that national stage of pop culture. So there was no way they were gonna do that in today's. There's no way Vince would do that today. Like, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do the same venue back to back like that. Even with going to Florida, New Orleans, New York, all these different WrestleMania venues that he mostly had been going to for the past several years, he always rotated them out. You know what I'm saying? From California to Texas to Florida to New Orleans. He was always rotating, so they weren't consecutive years. So that's the one thing that Vince did right. That's the one thing Vince did right, despite his horrible booking during that time period. That's the one thing that Vince was doing right always, was he was always consistent with the locations. So, yeah, I don't like this, and but unfortunately, there's really nothing we can do. The only thing you can do is actually not go to the shows. That's really the only way it works, guys. Then it would change shit. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm just going to say this right now. You canceling the network or canceling Peacock doesn't do fuck all. It doesn't. Okay? And I'll tell you why it doesn't. Because the WrestleMania and all their pay-per-views are not actually pay-per-views anymore, even though I call them pay-per-views still, because to me they'll always be pay-per-views. But in the limelight, they're not pay-per-views anymore. Okay, they're PLEs, which WWE doesn't really make any money off of those. They don't. You pay like $9.99 or $2.99 or whatever your package deal is through Peacock or Netflix. You pay a monthly service through them, and they get it, not WWE. What WWE gets from those PLEs is you looking at the ads, you watching the shows on their streamings, when they're doing their live events, their live pay-per-views. Okay, and then of course the advertisements. You want to know why WrestleMania has so many fucking goddamn advertisements all over the ring, or during a match when they have matches like sponsored or something like that. You want to know why they do that? Because that's where they get their money for the events, is doing that shit. Okay, because there is no incentive to the pay-per-view buy rates anymore. Because when it was an actual pay-per-view, you hinged on pay-per-views selling, the buy rates. So when people would buy the pay-per-view for $50, they were making money that way. All right, you were making money from the people that were the main event or the undercard and stuff like that through the advertisements. So that's where they were making the money. This is why WWE doesn't care anymore about who's in the storylines or who isn't anymore. Because when it comes to pay-per-views, at least, because it doesn't matter. They don't have to advertise anymore. Like, Undertaker is in the main event for the WWE champion. Can he win it? Buy pay-per-view for $50 and find out. They don't have to do that anymore. Because them making a profit off of the pay-per-view doesn't hinge on the star drawing the people into buying that pay-per-view. Okay? The pay-per-view's success hinges on advertisers. You watching the stream, watching the advertisements. That is where the money goes in. So they're getting money before you even watch the damn pay-per-view, okay? Because they already have the advertisers, sponsoring matches. Okay? So that's the problem. You want to know how you make an actual change? You don't buy a ticket. If you don't buy a ticket, that is where it will make the more noise. Is if you don't buy a ticket to go there. If you sell out the venue, then they have no incentive to change. Okay? So that is where you have to go and draw a line and not buy these outrageous ticket prices or these outrageous things that they're doing with switching venues. Okay, this is where you have to draw the line. But yeah, guys, I absolutely hate this. Terrible decision by WWE. Let me know what you guys think. I am out. Comment, rate, if you like this video, my videos, please subscribe, hit the notification bell for video content. Thank you, and that's about it, guys. I'm the Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace. Also, besides my YouTube channel, follow me on the Twitch, Instagram, same name, the Ultimate Goku. Discord link in the description for discussions, including this topic here. And also, I do have a YouTube tier list, so make sure to check out that for perks and all that stuff. And now I'm out. Peace.